Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another Axel 72 video, and it's a pleasure today to be joined by Ben Collins. Ben, how are we, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Just got back from some training, but feeling good. Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Well, absolute pleasure, like I mentioned, to speak to you today. And for anybody who may not know, am I right in saying you're a 19-year-old light heavyweight who's 1-0?
Yeah, yeah. Just 1-0 so far. Just signed with Warren and back out 12th of April.
Yes, it's great to see you staying active for the moment, and we'll speak about that in just a moment. But I'm going to start with the question which I always like to start off with, and that is, why did you start boxing?
So to be fair, I was nine. No, I was 7 years old when I first went to a boxing club, and I was just tagging along with a mate from primary school. Didn't really have much interest in boxing. Didn't really know too much about it. I was more of a footballer, and yeah, I just went along. And from the first session, I kind of fell in love with it from the first time I went.
No, it's amazing. And I suppose just to highlight the fact that you did start so young, going into the pro ranking, still not even being 20 yet, do you feel like that is just going to give you lots of time to progress?
Yeah, yeah. So the plan was when I did turn over, obviously, it was just off the win of the Haringey Box Cup. So I'd got plenty of amateur experience in regards to the years I'd boxed, but I hadn't really been that active. I'd only had 26 fights, so really it was you know, I weren't that experienced in regards to fights wise, but I'd been about boxing and stuff, and yeah, the idea was to go over early, but obviously take my time. And you know, I'm in it for, I'm going to be in the game for years, so just building up to that. My ambitions.
Of course, yeah, totally. And I suppose, you kind of touched on that the Harrogate Box Cup there. And would you say that was your biggest achievement from the amateurs?
Yeah, so I got to a few national finals, but just never kind of got the win that I wanted. Was unlucky a few times. One year it got cancelled due to COVID. So, but Harringay was kind of like the making. I always knew I had it in me to win a big competition. But then obviously Harringay was the one to do it. And to be fair, it's one of the biggest ones that I could have done it in. So it was a good achievement.
Of course, and these amateur shows now are getting kind of more and more eyes on them now, and even I believe that Haringey Cup or the one most previous, how it was on DAZN, and it's is it great to see the eyes getting put on amateur boxing?
Yeah, it was massive. Obviously, the box cups I've been in a few before, but never to that extent. And obviously, there was some big names at the Haringey this year. Well, last year when I won it, the zone was obviously there. Steve Bunce was there in attendance. Darren Barker was there. So they had some big names involved. And Haringey's always been a big event with regards to people look at. But now it's kind of getting that TV platform and well, boxing, the zone platform. It's good for amateur boxing.
Mhm. Totally, and to speak about your professional career so far, of course, 1-0, one victory, and I suppose to start off with, were you happy with that debut performance of yours?
Yeah, it was buzzing. I'll be honest, out of all my fights, it's probably the most I've enjoyed a fight. Just felt so in control, comfortable, and I showed to everyone. I got a lot of comments afterwards that I didn't look like a debutant. I looked like a seasoned professional with multiple fights. And I've always said my style would suit the amateurs. I weren't really uh, amateur in and out kind of boxer. I like to pick my shots, and I thought I did that in my debut. For a tough guy, who who'd been in with some big names, and I think only the other day he was fighting Macaulay McGowan, so he's in there with experienced fighters. Um, but yeah, I felt good in there and enjoyed it, so it was a good debut.
Indeed, and I suppose, like you mentioned, you felt comfortable in there, and a lot of the times I've seen pro debuts live, and sometimes you can tell fighters don't feel the most comfortable. But how did you deal with any kind of prior nerves or anything like that?
To be fair, I was quite chilled going into it, and then about 10, 15 minutes before, put the gloves on, and it was like right now it's on kind of thing. Um, there was nerves obviously, but I had a good support, and I feel like that helped massively. You know, big support pushed me through it. But now, just from the opening bell, took the middle with my jab, and I just felt good. So to be fair, the nerves weren't. I feel like I was experienced enough now where, obviously the pro fights a bit different, but at the same time, I've had plenty of fights. There's always going to be that bit of nerves, the bit of butterflies, but I wouldn't say I'm a nervous fighter. I don't panic or anything. It's just part of the job kind of thing.
No, it's a great mindset to have. And coming off of that, of course, you have now signed with Queensberry and Frank Warren. And I suppose so far, the experience you've had, obviously, you haven't fought on one of their shows yet, but the experience you've had with them, how, I suppose, supportive have they been for you?
Yeah, brilliant. Obviously, I went down, met Frank, met George, had a good chat with them, good meeting. Spoke a little bit about our plans in the future. Um, Obviously, my goal is to just keep winning, and that's what we've said, and just building. Obviously, with my age, we're just going to build up a few four rounders, and then from there and look what the options are. But one fight at a time. But they've been brilliant. They had me up at the Magnificent Seven show. Gave me complimentary tickets for that. So it's a massive platform to be on, and they've looked after me so far.
Of course, yeah, it was an amazing show that I had the privilege to be there as well. And I suppose, is it nice to also see, being from the Midlands yourself, having this kind of big time boxing around there?
Oh yeah, massive. It gets you hungry for it. I'm in BCB with some top names. Liam Davis just won the world title. Look at the fights that are possibly there for him. Zach Parker, there's some big fights there for him. Tyler Denny. So the lads I'm training with, they've all got big fights coming. The atmosphere in the gym's huge. It's pushing me on, and also it's an opportunity for big shows to be coming to the Midlands where I could be on the undercard of and push me on. Obviously, I keep saying I have said it a few times. I'd love if Nathan fought at Stoke City. I'd love to be on a card there. Fight in stadium kind of thing. So obviously, there's plenty of big fights coming to the Midlands, and it'll be nice to hopefully be on a few of the undercards of some of them.
Totally. And like you mentioned, being around such great fighters, are you kind of just being that of a sponge at the moment and just kind of taking everything in?
Yeah, massively. Just sound stuff, just being in the gym and listening to them and what they're doing with the training and the mindsets. You just got to take it in. Obviously, I've been getting plenty of sparring with Ben Whitaker and Zach Parker, and being in with them. There's a lot to learn, and I'm learning it, and as well getting out and having a chat with them, and just talk. Zach's brilliant. My teammates at the end of the day, and he's brilliant with his advice and helping me out, and I just take it all in like a sponge, like you just said. It's just got to take it all in, absorb it all, and it'll help build what I've got to bring to the table, kind of things. Build my profile, build how I am as a fighter.
Mhm. Indeed, and something else that comes with signing with a big promoters company is that of interviews. So, like you're doing one now, and I've seen you've done ones with the likes of Boxing Social as well. And I suppose, are you enjoying having this, I suppose, media attention to an extent around you?
Yeah, it's like I said, I feel like it's part of it. Obviously, when you're on a big platform like that, the eyes are on you, kind of thing. But like I said, it's all about just soaking it up and just getting on with it. It's kind of part of the job. It's nice, a bit of it, like people actually interested, finding information out, wanting to know how you're getting on. It's nice. I've got no problem with it, but obviously the training comes first and everything, and that's what we're here to do. It's all part of the job.
Of course, and I suppose for the moment, only so early on in your career, what would you say is that of your main motivation for the sport?
Uh, I've always had an ambition from when I did start as a young age and realised that I had a little bit about boxing and I liked it and watching it. I've always wanted it, and I've always said I want to be a British champion, and that is still my motivation. I've uh, run a boxing club myself, and I want to bring a British title back to the boxing club, and also back for myself. It's been a dream dream of mine to be a British champion, and that's hopefully going to be my aim, if not exceed that.
Mhm. And I suppose touching upon the fact you own a boxing club yourself, is that, you know, you see a lot of fighters give back to their communities. That's something that you're wanting to do.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got a lot going on with the club. We do a lot within the community, working in schools, working with the police, doing a lot on knife crime. We've uh, been working with a Justice for Ryan campaign, which is a campaign regarding a young lad who was stabbed in my hometown. We've had a knife being put outside the gym, and we also run a healthy eating program in the boxing club. You know, giving out free fruit and veg to the boxers who come into the gym. So you know, I do like to give back. Obviously, I've spent a lot of years in amateur boxing from a young age, and you know, that's the core of boxing. Without that, we don't have these big pro shows, and you know that's the next generation. So it's nice to give a bit back, and also see some young talent from the local area coming through as well.
You know, it's amazing to hear. And I suppose sometimes boxing can get a bit of a bad reputation from the likes of like parents and things like that. But do you feel like for young people, the sport of boxing can help massively?
Oh, massively! Like we've got kids at our gym just struggled a little bit with confidence, and you know boxing's brought it out of them. And we've had kids who come in the gym and you know quite shy, didn't really want to engage in a conversation. Now we've got them leading the warm up, leading the stretches at the end, you know, and are a big vocal point to the gym. We've got young lads and girls who come and help coach. You know, when they first come in the gym, um, you wouldn't have dreamt of that, like in regards to the way they were and just their confidence levels, and as well just physical the physical exercise of boxing that helps them massively. You know, so many children don't really know what they want to do at a young age with their lives, and boxing's kind of giving them a bit of a idea of I'd like to do this, or if it's not boxing, want to be involved in coaching in sport, or we've been doing first aid courses and at the gym, and a few of the kids have thought about physiotherapy and things like that. So you know, there's opportunities in the sport of boxing, not just as a fighter.
Mm, no, of course, it's amazing to hear. And I suppose just to go away from boxing a little bit, there's a lot of time pressure on young people to, kind of know what they want to do at a young age. And is it, I suppose, all right to not know what you want to do, but just kind of going along with it?
Oh yeah, massively. You know, to be fair, up until 15, even though I still wanted to always be a boxer, you know, it was it was a long way off at that time. Obviously, I believe I say this a lot, but I believe COVID was kind of a bit of a blessing for me.
Mhm.
It gave me some time to like focus on my training. I was literally training in the garden every day, um, and we come out of it, and it was like, right, this is what I want to do. I want to go down this path. Um, you know, so you know, things change. People have different, you know, they, they might want to be something one day, but the next, things change. As I said, so there's nothing wrong with not knowing what you want to do. But like just trying out things, whether it's boxing, whether it's other sports, just go out and try it out. And that's my message to anyone. Just go and try something. Don't be scared to you know, it might not be for you, but if you try it, you never know what it could lead to. Like with myself, I went to the boxing gym just with a friend. Now I'm a professional boxer, so I'm with Frank Warren. At 7 years old, I didn't even know really what boxing was, and I just tagged along to the gym. So it just shows you should just go and try things and just take up opportunities.
Most definitely. That's a great message. And to go back to your fighting career, you're back out April 12th. And I suppose this year, are you wanting to keep as active as possible?
Yeah, so I'm on a BCB show,
Mhm.
and the reason I'm on that is just to stay active. Obviously, uh, I think hopefully Warren there should be a show end of May, so I'll hopefully be out on that in the Midlands kind of thing. So I want to try and get 4 fights this year, and I just want to build my profile. Like, I don't want to rush, but at the same time, I want to stay active and I want to learn the game. See, I'm learning the game in the gym and stuff, but getting those fights and building my career and profile, that's part of it. And yeah, I just want to stay active and enjoy it. That's my main thing. Keep enjoying it. I love the sport. It's not like waking up to get to work. I wake up on the morning. Apart from the morning, you have to get up and run around the running track on a Tuesday. That, but you get up and it's something you love, and it's not like going to work. So yeah, it's just this year, stay active and just keep improving, and make a couple of statements throughout with some of my fights, and just see where it goes. I'm not in no rush. I'm 19 years of age. It's not like I'm 29 and I've got to make some quick fights. Just build my career slowly, and when the big fights are there and I feel ready for them, I'll take them. I'm just looking forward to enjoying the journey.
Mhm. Most definitely. And sometimes you see fighters early on in their career, they kind of want to protect their record a bit and don't really go into fights to want to make a statement like you've just said there. And I suppose is it important for you to, of course, keep winning and everything like that, but also make your fights entertaining for the fans?
Yeah, obviously, it's professional boxing. Most fight, you've got to keep it entertaining. But obviously, I'm in there to win. That's no doubt about that. But if the fight's a war, the fight's a war. If the fight's a boxing match, it's a boxing match. I'll just do whatever I've got to do, and I've got good support behind me. I've got this next fight, 12th April. We've got two coaches of of my fans coming from Stourbridge, the football club near me, going to the venue. So, I've got a big support behind me, and obviously I want to put a show on for them, but I'm going to do that through my boxing and winning my fights the way I win my fights. And I believe that'll be through making statements.
Mhm. Of course, and I appreciate your time here, Ben. I won't keep you for too much longer, but just a question which I like to ask fighters who do have big ambitions in the sport is what would be that of a dream venue for you to fight at?
Uh, it'd have to be it'd have to be the Hawthorns. I'm a West Brom fan. Everyone says it. That I'd love to fight in a stadium. Whether it's the Hawthorns or Wembley. I'd love to fight and be headlining on a massive show like that. So yeah, if my dream venue, yeah, I'd have to say the Hawthorns.
Mate, that is the perfect answer. I'm a West Brom fan as well, and I
Yeah,
suppose what's your opinions on how West Brom are doing this season, mate?
yeah, it's we're doing well. Hopefully we'll go up. I'm loving the new takeover. It's good. I'm a season ticket holder and I've been going up for many years, and I feel like this year, speaking with a lot of the fans when I'm up there, it's there's a good atmosphere up there, and now we've got rid of Lie. I believe, I think we could build back to being a Premier League team, which we once was.
Hmm. Of course. No, I could probably speak about West Brom with you all day, mate, but I'll keep too long. I'll leave with this final question, which I always like to ask, and that's just kind of just to open up the floor to you. Anything you want to promote, shout out, anything like that.
Just thank all my sponsors, and I've got a good team behind me. Everyone, all the coaches at BCB, um, and as well, just everyone who comes up to the gym, Team Pumpkin. Team Pumpkin Boxing. It's growing day by day, and we've got plenty of members, plenty of boxers, and it's not just the boxers. It's the volunteers and the team we've got behind it, and just a bit of a plug to all them. Obviously they're a big part of my career as well because they're helping with the gym, they're helping uh, build the profile of the gym, and with that comes a lot of people who are now supporting me. So yeah, big shout out to Team Pumpkin Boxing.
Amazing stuff, Ben. Well, been an absolute pleasure to speak to you today, and hopefully within the recent times, I suppose coming up, like you mentioned, big cards, big fights, and hopefully I'll be able to catch you in person after one of your fights if you'd be up for that, man.
Yeah, definitely. Cheers, Alex, and thanks for having us on.
Brilliant. And so if you are new around here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like video if you did indeed like video, and thanks for watching.